2016 may be a long way off, but Pennsylvania is expected to have one of the more competitive U.S. Senate races in the country. Republican Senator Pat Toomey won his seat in 2010 in a very close race with Democrat Joe Sestak. And Admiral Sestak is itching for a rematch. Just showed you some video as he continues his walk across Pennsylvania. He was in Lancaster County today. It's part of his campaign called Walking in Other Pennsylvanians' Shoes. Admiral Sestak is here now. Actually walked into the studio. Welcome. Talk more about the walk and the purpose behind it.
Well, I think the biggest deficit we have in America today, and certainly here in Pennsylvania, is a lack of trust in our leaders. And I'm hoping by walking from the New Jersey border, literally all the way to the Ohio border, and walking in a different group of Pennsylvania shoes every day, I might begin to earn their trust. And I'm willing to walk in their shoes, understand their challenges, and then when I'm in Washington, D.C., remain walking in their shoes, serving them. And
you started, you said, on the Jersey side. When are you expected to make your way to Pittsburgh
or
to the Sun State?
Very end of the month, about the 28th. I mean, today is Lancaster County. Before I came down to York, the rural development issue. Did one on women the day before. Did one on small businesses. And I started with my fellow veterans. 31 years in the Navy, I held up my boots that I wore on the ground in Afghanistan when the war began. And then that first day, I walked my fellow vets, never to forget them.
As you're walking across the state, what are you hearing from folks? What are you finding they say on the federal side of things is really affecting everyday Pennsylvanians?
They begin telling me about the issues. They begin to tell me about the challenge of small business. And then they pause, and I say, how much do you trust your representatives, Washington? And right then it opens up. Not at all. Look, when I talk about trust, Evan, what I mean is accountability, answering for oneself, for one's deeds, not for what one says. Do you say one thing here and do something else down there? Do you care about party before you care about we, the people? There is such a lack of trust in our politicians, and I don't blame them. I want to make sure that they understand, like I was when I was an admiral or captain in the Navy, went down and talked with the crew. If I had their trust, and they felt I wasn't above accountability, you could galvanize anything and do anything with them.
You lost to Senator Toomey in 2010. A, why have you decided to run again? And B, what, if anything, will you do differently that you've learned in the last few years?
I'm concerned about the direction or the lack of direction of America. I don't care if it's small business or whether it's to have women have a fair opportunity. When I see the Paycheck Fairness Act filibustered 3 times by Senator Toomey that says it's an unfair burden on businesses when in fact it's an unfair burden on women. I want to go down there because I think Pennsylvanians don't care whether you're on the whole, you go left or you go right. They just want it to work and to be accountable. What will I do different? Only one thing. Double down to make sure people know that I'm willing to be held accountable for what I do. And I believe that's what they really want. No one above accountability. And then describe the issues and let me listen and then do what we come to an agreement that has to be done for Pennsylvanians.
Have just a couple more seconds. It was a relatively close race
in
2010. What's the one thing that you would think off the top of your head now that you would change or would have done differently, do you think would have made a difference?
I think I would have tried to even get around more the rural counties. I think they really matter. So in the last 2 years, I've done 400 events for others. I've done mainly Democrats, but I've done some Republicans and independents. But I've also gone to other issues like rural development. No, I think being out amongst the people is what most matters.
Well, Admiral, we appreciate it. And
thanks for having
good luck
me.
on your continued journey walking across Pennsylvania. We'll keep tabs on that. We should also note that we have also extended an invitation to Senator Toomey to appear on a future broadcast as well. Thanks again.